Hi again, and welcome to part 3 of the dot2 training series. In this video, we are going to look at programming chasers and effects and storing them into queues. It is assumed that you have seen part 1, getting started within minutes, and part 2, first steps into playback, and that you have patched some fixtures into your console already. If not, go back and check out that video now. Alright, let's start by selecting your first fixture and raising its dimmer to full. Now we'll store this into one of our executor faders by pressing the store key followed by the button below our next free fader. Now turn this fixture off again by pressing the point key twice. This is a very useful shortcut to send a fixture to 0. Let's select the next fixture and turn it on. Press the next key followed by full. If we store this into the same fader executor, we will be asked on screen what we want to do. We'll select the option to create a second queue. Now we'll repeat this process with all of our fixtures. Point to turn the fixture off, next to select the next fixture, full to turn it on, store and the button below the fader to store it. When we have worked our way through all the fixtures, we'll press the clear key twice to clear the programmer. Let's check that the queue list is stored correctly. When we push up the fader and press the Go key underneath it, we should see our fixtures light up one at a time as we go through the queues. Now we're going to turn this queue list into a chaser. Press the View key and then the Go button of our newly programmed executor. This will bring up a list of queues on the right side of our screen. In the top right corner of this screen, we can see a wrench symbol. Press this to open the options window. Now we simply select the option to turn the queue list into a chaser by pressing the green tick box next to Is Chaser. Press Escape in the top left of the screen to return to the previous queue list. Congrats, we've now created a chaser. Press the Go key below our fader again and watch it run. Now that we have a chaser running, how about adjusting the speed and controlling how it fades from one queue to the next? Once again, we'll want the queue list open. That's the View key followed by the Go key below our fader. We'll also want to make sure our chaser is running by pressing the Go key. Now we see that fade and speed have appeared on our second and third encoder wheels. The second wheel, fade, will vary how the chaser transitions from queue to queue. At 0%, the queues will snap instantly from one look to another. At 100%, it will fade evenly between the queues. We can use the third wheel to vary the speed of our chaser, measured in beats per minute. If the range of speeds available isn't enough, then we can halve or double the speed of our chaser by pressing the half speed or double speed buttons on the lower part of the touchscreen. The 1-to-1 speed button on the touchscreen will reset our speed range back to default. On the lower part of the touchscreen, we see a green bar labeled Forward. On the right of this bar are 3 dots. By pressing this, we are shown some options on how our chaser should run. We can change our chaser from running forwards to running backwards, bouncing forwards and backwards, or even running to random steps. Next to the direction bar, we have another control that says Endless. Once again, to the right, we have our ellipses that we can press to change the options. The Shoot Off option will allow this chaser to run once and then turn itself off when complete. Let's try this. Select Shoot Off and use the Go key to run the chaser. The Shoot On option will run the chaser once, but leave the last queue on when finished. To get our chaser to run continuously again, we change this option back to Endless. Chasers can be used on all attributes on moving fixtures. For example, using the techniques we've just learned, we could create a chaser that runs between different positions or changes the color of our fixtures. We can even combine attributes to make complex chasers. Before we begin, we should explain the difference between a chaser and an effect. A chaser is simply a sequence of queues that runs automatically from one queue to the next. An effect employs different waveforms that can be applied to attributes to change their range of values. Further along, you will be able to build your own effects, but for the purposes of this video, we are going to show you how to use the built-in effects within the dot2 console. Let's try using some effects on our fixtures. First, we want to make sure we start from a clear stage, so let's press the clear key twice to clear the programmer and stop all playbacks by pulling down any faders. We can also use the off exec through command to stop all running executors. Now let's select a group of fixtures and press the dimmer attribute key on the top right of the furthest right touchscreen. Now we press the effect hard key on the console. This will bring up the effects page for dimmers on the right screen. To start an effect, just press the key for the desired effect on this screen. Let's try it now with a dimmer sine effect. This will start a sine wave running across all our dimmers. At the bottom of the screen, we can see that our rotary encoders have also changed to the controls for our currently running effect. The second encoder is our speed control, once again measured in beats per minute. The third encoder controls the phase. This is how our effect is spread out across all of our fixtures in our selected group. By default, it will be running a full even spread across the fixtures, which the console will have already calculated for us. If we increase the value on this encoder, we will see the spread get larger. By reducing this value, we will see the spread get less and less until we reach a point where all the fixtures are synchronized. The fourth encoder controls the width and softness of the effect. This can be combined with different waveforms for some neat results. Alright, let's try a movement effect next. First, we'll clear the current effect by pressing clear twice. Let's reselect our group of fixtures and turn them on by pressing the full key. We'll then select the position attribute from the buttons on the right side of the right screen and press the effects key to open the effect window. Here we have some effects for pan only, some just for tilt, and others that are combined. Let's see how this works by selecting the tilt sign and then pan sign effects. Now we can see both effects running. If we need to stop one of these effects from running, we just press the off hard key followed by the effect on the touchscreen we wish to stop. Next up, let's try changing the size of our effect. By pressing the low value key in the top right corner, we can adjust the lowest position of our effect. If we change this value by turning the encoders, we can see the lowest part of our effect changing position. The high value key does the same thing for the highest point of our effect. Effects are incredibly powerful and allow some really complicated stuff to be programmed quickly. You can use these techniques to create effects for any attribute on your fixtures. When we have finished setting up our desired effect, storing them into queues is simple. We just press the store key and then a key on the playback we wish to store into, just like storing a queue. Effects will even follow the fade times we put into queues. What about when we need to stop an effect within our queue list? Well, first we need to return to the effects page of the effect type we wish to stop. Then we select our fixtures and press the stomp key. Now we can store this into a queue, which will result in the effect stopping when we run that queue. And again, this will respond to queue fade times. So now we know how to create a queue list, turn it into a chaser, and edit the speed, direction, and loop control. We can also now create effects, store them into queues, and create queues that can stop these effects using the stomp command. So, why not try the software yourself? Just visit ma-dot2.com and download the free ma.2 on PC software. While you're there, pick up the absolutely free visualization companion software, ma.2 3D. So watch out for new videos coming soon to teach you more features of the ma.2 console.